Hello and welcome back to the garden. Now nearing the end of April the 27th today, I think Sunday. The sun is out. We're in for a warm week ahead, I believe, which is to be encouraged. A lot of the plants are now out of the greenhouse, hardening off. Let's have a quick look around the garden and see how it's looking. Tetrapanics here. Now growing well, putting some new growth on. A selection of different Carus down here. Some hostas doing their thing. Hardly a mark on them this year. I think that's because it's been so dry. The snails and slugs haven't really been about to do the damage they usually do. What else can I show you? Brassioopsis motus. Look at the leaves on there, absolutely stunning. They're like little snowflakes. Fantastic plant. And just look at the stem. Quite something. You wouldn't want to grab it quickly because they're quite vicious to spines. Carpus fortunii. I moved last year. Getting some new growth in the middle. No sign of flowers yet. It has flowered before, as you can see by the old leaf stalk, flower stalks in there. Maybe yet to come. I find the males usually flower before the females, so maybe that one's still to follow. Talking of which, the other new palm came from Seagrave nursery last year is now putting up some flower spikes. You can see the big yellow bulges erupting from the trunk. They will become flowers shortly. So that's obviously settled in and doing its thing now. What else can I show you here? The dera, just out of the greenhouse, freshly out of the greenhouse, just hardening off now. It's been in like 2 or 3 times and it's now going to stay out unless it turns particularly cold. It shouldn't get cold now. I'm hoping we've seen the end of the frost. Never say never. Very rare to get a frost here after the 2nd week in April, but never say never, so the greenhouse isn't far away and I can pop it back in if the weather does change. What else can I show you? The arid bed. The arid bed is now fully planted up. I said I was going to leave it till the start of May, but the weather's been kind and nice and I got itchy trowel fingers, so it's now fully planted up and I am really pleased with it. How it will look next year after a winter remains to be seen. This is a bit of a new learning curve for me. I've always gardened with big leafed exotics before. An arid bed is a whole new venture for me. I've had agaves and bits and pieces in pots, but never a whole bed to look after and protect. But I've really enjoyed the process of building it and making it. This little yucca on the end here, nice straight little trunk, came from Hardy Palms. Nigel at Hardy Palms, he was selling some of the end of his last year's stock after a load for new stock coming in. I think I paid £30-something for that, which is a fantastic bargain. Wonderful quality plant, nice stout little trunk. Finishes the bed off nicely. It's in the sunshine, it looks lovely. You'll notice I have various cacti planted in as well now. I've done a bit of research. I don't claim to be an expert on cactus, boy, by any stretch of the imagination, but these are supposed to be hardy-ish in our climate. I've given them good drainage. I'll possibly protect them in the winter. Well, I will protect them in the winter. I'm not quite sure how yet. And hopefully they'll thrive. The agave here, I believe this one is Montana. It looks nice, that red colour, but I'm not convinced it's meant to be that colour. I had a lot of trouble getting that out of the pot. I had to break the terracotta pot it was in the end to try and get it out. I'm not sure whether it's the stress of moving or that's the colour it should be. I gave it a bit of a feed last week to try and perk it up, but we'll see what happens with that one. Everything else is looking fine. The palm is putting out some new fronds. Now starting to open. I'm going to leave the brown and leaves until it puts them out. I don't think Brahera Mata likes being in a pot, to be honest, because I've found it can only hold so many leaves when it's in a pot. But the way I look at it is, while there is still some green on that leaf, it's still feeding the plant. So until they brown nearly totally up, I'm gonna leave them. But yes, all in all, I'm really pleased with the new arid area. I've also got a bit of a new area around here. The canopies or veranda's been here for a while. But what I've done is now put some trellis up over the back there. Some simple post trellis just to grow some climbing plants up, really. Just to make it feel a little bit more enclosed. So that's now in. I'm pleased with that. Have a little walk along the border. Bananas are doing well. It's the first leaf and fairly unblemished, to be fair. Usually they look worse than that for the first ones. Booty agrius, I've planted it. I've been holding off. It's spent the winter in the greenhouse and then under the veranda, just hardening off, and now it's in the ground. I've given it the sunniest and hopefully most sheltered spot I could find for it, because of all the palms I grow, this is probably one of the more tender ones. I'm not saying it's not hardy, but it needs a bit more care than Trachycarpus and the like. So it's fairly near to the house, gets full sun most of the day. More importantly, it gets full sun in winter there. When the sun is lower in the sky, it still gets sun there to warm it up. So if we do get a cold spell with a bit of sun, hopefully that will warm it slightly, but we'll see how that one goes. Fatsia is just putting on some new growth. I love this time of year. Everything fresh, green and new. Palms. Camellia earning its keep. Nice glossy green leaves most of the year, but in spring you get this fantastic display. Lovely, lovely plant. Tetrapanics in the ground, full of new growth. Just bursting out. Fresh, young at the moment, small leaves. Later in the year, hopefully they should be 1/2 metre, 3/4 of a metre across. Huge big leaves. A spotty dotty, doing what spotty dotty does best. Lovely, lovely plants. Fern behind, unfurling its new croziers. Fantastic. We come down here, the tree ferns haven't flushed yet. with new leaves, but they're in there waiting to go because I've had a feel in the crown and they're definitely waiting to go. Speaking of tree ferns, if we swing around this way, if you look very, very carefully, and I don't want to stay here too long because I don't want to upset them. If I just go in there, if you look, there's a small entrance there, just below where the browny leaf is in the middle of the shot now. That's a little wren's nest. They've been busy in and out, building their nest and doing what wrens do best, but it's put me out slightly because it's been very dry here, and to water the tree fern I usually put a hose in the top and let it run down. Obviously I don't want to flood the wrens out, so I've had to water very, very carefully, but it's not for long, so I'll let them finish what they're doing and then get back to proper watering. The other tree fern in the middle here, those chunky one, still never flushed for me. It's been in more than a year, still never had a new set of leaves, but there again I've had a feel in the top, and hopefully this year's the year. What else can I show you? We'll wander this way. Oh yes, the echium. Let's just stand back and see if I can get a shot of it. The echium is going to flower. So it's now been out, I think this is a second stroke third year now. It's not been protected, no, I'd lie. One day I quickly threw a bit of fleece over it, one day in the winter. I don't think it really needed it, but I was up the garden and I thought I'll cover it up. I've got some more out the front in the front garden that are now flowering. I didn't protect them at all and they're fine. So I think the lowest we had this winter was about -4-ish. So it's done well. It's kept its leaves. The bottom ones that went through the winter do look a bit tatty, but the top ones are looking fantastic. If you look, if I can get you in closer, we'll just have a look. You look in there, you can see the flower buds now forming. So what happens is it'll now go up at some rate. It's a bit like Jack's beanstalk, you can almost see it growing daily, but it'll go up and up and that'll become a tower of flowers. The bees love them when they flower, absolutely love them. Coming around here, various things. Nice little splash of colour that came with the garden when I bought it. I haven't got the heart to take them out. Primulas look fantastic this time of year. Mediterranean fan palm. I moved this one from my old garden. I think it's just about got over the shock, to be fair. If you look up the top, there's still one brown leaf, but all the others appear to be coming through green now. So it must have got its roots down and settled in somewhat. The smaller trunk of the two has definitely settled down because there's lovely lush green growth in there. Persicaria coming through nicely now. It's Carus cross princeps, this one is. It's there again. It's been in the year or two now. Obviously got its roots down. It's not quite as vivid underneath the silver as the true princeps, but it's growing well and fast. I believe it's got hybrid vigour, so hopefully that one will do well. Ubaya, it's coming along. It's still in a pot. I'm going to dig some more beds eventually. I've got plans, but it's been a busy year so far, building garages in the front garden and bits and pieces, and I really haven't had the time to get to that. But at some point I'm going to have some more beds in this area here. it will go in the ground eventually. I keep promising that it's going to go in the ground and it doesn't actually make it, but one day soon. Watch this space. What else can I show you quickly? Let's have a look. Inset Haneba. Come through the winter in the greenhouse. No protections, just in the greenhouse. I had a tube. All I had running there is a tube heater for the coldest days, just to keep the real cold off, which it stood near. Put out one leaf, as you can see, there's another roller now coming, so obviously that's got through okay. It's just stood out in its pot, hardening off really, waiting to go in the ground, which the weather next week, I'll probably get it in the ground next week. So that's done okay, that's good, should be big this year. Down here I've had to employ some protection. Let me just move it and you can see. Under here, colocasias coming through. They were doing lovely, but I get visited most mornings by a pair of partridges. I think they're the culprits, who like to nibble anything fresh and new growth. I've seen them going around and having a nibble. They seem to have left the canners alone. They just seem to have a liking for them. But so I thought I'll just pop that over the top. It's not really very nice to look at, but it serves a purpose until they get some leaves. So that's a quick roundup. What's going on at Heathcroft Garden at the end of April. If you've enjoyed what you've seen, please like and subscribe. Leave a comment. It does help the channel grow. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time at Heathcroft Garden.